Right, so loads of games on this trip, which is lasting about a week. Today we have got three games, and that is Hyde Women versus FC United Women Reserves, followed by FC United Women versus Berry Women, and then the men's game under 21s, FC United FC United men under 21s away at Ashton United under 21s. Then tomorrow we have got Albania versus Andorra, and the following day we have got Wales away in North Macedonia. Then we travel to Germany for two games on Wednesday and Thursday. Pfullendorf versus Auggen. Sportfreunde Johannisthal versus Spandauer Kickers. Then we've got Leeds under 21s versus Manchester United under 21s, and that's an afternoon game on Friday, and that will be followed up by Wrexham under 19s women versus Newtown under 19s women at Buckley on Friday night.
£586 spent on this trip. I think probably the most unfortunate part of that was in Germany, where they seem to have a bus and tram strike at the moment, particularly in the Berlin area there. I don't know whether it's countrywide or whatever, but that prevented me from getting to the first game on the Wednesday night. Sorry, on the second game in Germany on the second night, the one in Berlin. That game there, I had to walk from the tube stop, the S-Bahn stop, to the ground, which was about half an hour's walk, so it wasn't too bad. But I had planned to get a tram through there, but I found there that a notice saying that there was a strike. And then when I was looking the following morning to get back to the airport, I noticed they were saying there was some strikes on the bus line as well. Now it did look like some were running, and the tram that I picked should have ran, but when I got to it, it seemed that no trams were running. So I didn't fancy going for that bus the following morning in the early hours, and it not turning up. So I pre-booked the Uber, so I knew I could get an Uber rather than an old taxi. So I knew it'd be a bit cheaper, but obviously a lot more expensive than the bus would have been. And I'd already bought a 24-hour travel pass for the Berlin area, so that was a bit unfortunate as well, because that would have cost me a lot less, because I wouldn't have actually had to pay any more at all than what that pass cost me, because it would have covered my whole time in Berlin. But unfortunately, I did have to get that taxi, so that was about €40. So that kind of upped that. But apart from that, the trip was really cheap. The hostel in Skopje was lovely, and to think that I paid £5 for that is unbelievable. It was a really, really nice place to stay. It just shows what you can really get value for money in places like that. So that was fantastic. But overall, a really good trip. I thought the amount we paid for the two games in Germany was quite high. I paid €6 and €7 respectively. Actually, the game that was in the higher league in the sixth division, which was the one in just outside Frederikshavn there, that was actually in a higher league. That was the cheaper one of the two. But I was surprised, compared to the level we were watching, how much you're paying for that level. Obviously, I understand they've got to pay for the rental of those 3G cages, but they must be quite high priced out there, because there was, you'd be watching Northwest Counties football over here, which is definitely maybe not a higher division out there, but it definitely is a higher level of football. But there you go. I was a bit surprised about that, but they were great little venues and very friendly and what have you, and it was great to get a couple of more grounds in there. So altogether, a great trip. Great dramatic winner for Wales. Great dramatic equaliser for Wales. So that was good as well. But yeah, overall, a very good trip, very easy and successful transport-wise, so can't moan about that.